You know, this is very funny. Okay, let me save it. I'm gonna try to contain myself. This is gonna be delicious. But let's read. I want to read something for y'all, and to go off, of course, as we usually do, and then we're gonna go off that. Once again with Tony Khan. Only this time, freedom of speech is no longer allowed. Okay, so what we have here, Aubrey Edwards is accused of filing mass DMCA takedown notices for AEW under a fake name. So this is basically one of the referees, and they're like practically having her go undercover, and you know what the dealio with is right there. If you don't know what DMCA means, it's practically another word for trying to like copyright. That's what it basically is. And you could basically, and I guess it's another way because it's another tactic because it's used by companies like AEW, and they use that as another way, and third world parties to try to go up. And of course YouTube is going to allow this shit because YouTube is YouTube is censorship themselves. You can't talk unless they give you a script. Okay, so let's get into the article. Let me get to the part I'm trying to get to. The part. Okay, so this is from someone they were going after. So Buck Starsky put out a series of tweets accusing Aubrey Edwards of filing a mass DMCA takedown under a fake alias. Starsky revealed in the first tweet that he made a switch from being an in-ring presence to working in the information security office, while including several pieces of documentation as evidence. He told his brave story, one that many in pro wrestling business would be too afraid to tell. This is the toughest post I've made, but sometimes silent weapons for quiet wars take their toll. I'm including some heavyweight accounts here for a signal boost because I can't be heard on my own. As some people know, I went from a career in the ring to working in the office on information security with a focus on digital media rights. I know Jeff Jones. We talked a lot about copyright claims, and I sent him to when AEW Botches was hit on his last account. So seems like they've been doing this to this person. Jeff, and you know how AEW, especially with AEW hates when you mention their botches. Jeff never replied, so I looked around the web a little. On Copyright Gov, you can find active and terminated DMC agents for a number of companies. At 9:15 on July 5th of 2022, AEW had no agents listed. After my email, Don Stevens was suddenly registered. Furthermore, after this email was sent, I received a threatening email from my own fear. The ID is staying redacted. Whenever you want to know what kind of office AEW runs, this is your reference. Talk badly, they might sue you. This is the reality of how AEW is. And they are. Starsky sent out an email to Jeff Jones, formally announcing the accusation that Aubrey Edwards is behind these DMC's takedowns. Furthermore, so I guess they're getting a fake agent, and basically, I'll talk about that after. Like I said, formally announcing the accusation that Aubrey Edwards is behind these DMC takedowns. Furthermore, she's also operating under a fake alias of DMC agent Donald Stevens. He also asked in the email if AEW doesn't operate with an internal DPO team. He questioned why the company isn't using software as Content ID. The accusation doesn't end there, as Starsky revealed in another tweet after his email. Donald Stevens was registered as a DMC agent on Copyright Gov, which wasn't the case before. He didn't receive a reply to that email as well. Starsky then received a threatening email after reaching out to AEW. He blocked out the email ID, of course, for his own safety, but revealed what it said on Twitter. He was accused of making a false claim, to which he was threatened with legal action from AEW. Now that the accusation is out in the open, Edwards might have to face some pressure from AEW fans. Of course he is. You know how they are. They're way worse. I mean, yeah, wrestling geeks, it's like the IWC, especially on Twitter, because that's where that's where the fatty AEW, the worst of the worst, hang out. I would say that's where they mostly hang out. So of course they're gonna have animosity. Oh, of course they're gonna go down him like raw dog hard. Even in his comments, the article I'm reading, they're really going hard. They're shoving Tony's dildo up their butts. Now that the accusation is out in the open, allegation does resonate with the rising number of DMCA takedowns against Twitter users. All right, and this is this. You can go to the article yourself. It's called. You can just look up the referee Aubrey Edwards. Mass DMCA takedowns. All right, so they basically having a fake, DMC agent that's registered to a government, like a copyright government, and they're using that, basically from their own, in the inside with their own agent, and it's a fake agent though, but they're using it as a fake alias to try to use that. So they're basically abusing the copyright system. And this is pathetic, and this is disgusting. I'm really actually happy, as a matter of fact. I was actually getting geared up to talk about AEW. I still will on numerous occasions, but I'm not going to be going out of my way. Especially after reading this shit. I'm going to also, because it's like I guess I could put it in a because you just have to go to my archive, because I've been speaking on Tony Khan a number of times. And, if y'all already know, Tony hates criticism. He cannot take criticism. He has gone to this, and this is why he's gone to this far as to going why. And I'm going to talk about it and show y'all how. And of course, I've heard he even also going after his own, meat suckers like JD, and they even filed after them, which is that's hilarious in itself, because they always want you to sing that song, and they want you to get on your knees and get ready to take their cum, because they don't want you. Like, this is obvious. They don't want no criticism at all, and they're going as far as to abuse the copyright system and file to take channels down. Like, they're basically like, this shit is crazy. He has a fake agent that's going by a fake alias, and he's basically abusing their more other this is basically practically like a breach. This is like a crime, basically. It's also because they're this is ridiculous. They're going after people's livelihoods. It's just it's disgusting. And people, most of these people take care of their families with their with this line of work. People make money off of YouTube, and you're gonna all because you can't take criticism, because it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time that hanging above the 1 million ain't gonna work. So they can't take it, because you have people, of course, that's in a little, I would say half, but they don't want anybody speaking on it at all. Even if you're praising it, and if you say one bad thing, they'll file you, because that's how bad they are. Like I said, Tony Khan, he hates criticism. and he wants to hear nothing out of your mouth but just ass kissing. That's all they want to do. That's all they want to hear from you. They want you to take your lips and puster it right up to his butt cheeks, and that's all you got to do for them. They don't care about criticism. I told you this, which is why they're doing what they're doing, why they're wasting their stars they do have, and which is why they're wasting MJF. It's because, like I said this also before, they're big budgeted indie marks that just care about that's from Japan, and like because Tony's also a combustor for the Japan market, which is why he made a deal with MPGK, and they're obsessed with they're all obsessed with spot festers and like fucking like the whole like the aerial assaults and like just bleeding all over the fucking place, like these marquee matches where you have just weapons, like all that trash, just trash, filth. And it's like, that's all they're obsessed with in that culture is. And they're all, like this is also a company that wants to grow but doesn't want to take criticism, but has said himself and has come out to say, Tony by himself, that he doesn't want to take, that he doesn't care about the demographic. So how are you going to grow if you don't care about the demographic? How are you going to grow if he said it himself that we pander to the audience that we have? So how are you going to, like, this man is completely just delusional, and he's like a man child. That's what he is. Like, you see how just disturbing and cringe, like he hugged Cesaro. Like, the man is demented. Like, is on some extreme coke. Like, the man needs possibly more medical attention daily. And like I said, I've spoken this numerous times before. And there's been numerous occasions where he, like back in the end of 2021, like where I've spoken that he's talked about, he came out and he, if y'all do remember, the first time, I started seeing the signs. This is why I've said back then, there's something about Tony Khan that's fake, and then he's showing it. I said this months ago, pretty almost to a year. I said this months ago, and I said that Tony, whatever is dark comes out in the light, and Tony Khan is literally exposing himself. Like, he's a biased egomaniac that only cares about what they're pushing out, and it's just like, it's the classic of you're not wanting to take criticism. That's the problem with everything. That's the problem with wrestling nowadays. No one wants to take criticism, and no one wants to work for anything. That's why wrestling is in the toilet it's in now. Like I said, like before he had come out, and he remember back, and this was at the end of November. He wanted credit. He wanted full credit. He blasted and just completely went off at a reporter. I believe it was a female reporter. I can't remember, like whoever. And he blasted that reporter for talking about like how he wanted contribution to the NWA for the women. Like, the man is senile. He could be possibly been worse than Joe Biden. And then, like, of course, like that wasn't even the last of it. And we already know the infamous, like, he accused, like, WWE of having anti-accounts because saying they aren't real individuals. And I spoke on that too when I said that he can't take criticism because AEW hates criticism. It's it. They don't want to grow. They don't care. He come out to say it himself. I can't wait till the day that AEW dies. And like I said, this is putrid. Like, this shit doesn't make any. This is completely asinine, and it's just overly disgusting. It's filthy. it makes me sick to my stomach that they're willing to go to these lengths to hurt people that just have a voice, and that they have something that they don't like in AEW, and they're going out of their way to try to like suppress that. And you know YouTube is going to agree with this shit because they're censorship themselves. They hate truth. They don't want people to go against their platform. And we've seen this numerous times of late. You know, Ackman had got himself demonetized, but thankfully he got his monetization back because they kept getting pushed back because people were talking about, you know, the justice for Ackman. So they wound up giving him, rightfully so, his monetization back. And it is also, of course, it's like they favor YouTubers that push out their agendas. Like, this is what goes on in YouTube, and like AEW is clearly they're clearly breaking the law, and they're clearly breaking YouTube's TOS. But like I said, YouTube is not going to operate it because they agree with it. Like I said, because they're censorship police themselves. And the world now is going to a point of where, you know, unless you're a drone, unless you're a bot, you can't have a voice. Unless your voice sounds exactly the same as everybody else. That's why I'm disgusted at humans. The world doesn't want you to be different from, you know, inside out. They want you to be the same as everybody else. And that's why humanity has been failing and failing. And I don't like this. Is at this point, this makes me don't even want to do any more content, because like basically, like if you have an opinion against them, they gonna come after me. So it's like, recently, which is why I'm agreeing this too, because they had recently come at, you know, if you know the guy, he has a channel named BC Amplified, and they had striked his video because I noticed that one of his videos was gone in AEW. So he was literally praising it, but he had one thing to say about which he didn't like, and they still took it, and they took that down because they want you. It's AEW is at the point that if you can't, just like Punk said when he came out with that completely stupid, idiotic comment, when he had said, if you don't like what you're watching, he said STFU. Yep, shut the F up. And the crowd cheered for it. That's you could just another clear example right there that they don't care about. They don't want criticism, and they just want, which is why Impact has been dead. Well, they've been dead for a number of reasons, but this is why wrestling does not exist anymore. This applies with everything in today's culture. This is why everything is failing. Like, this is a joke. So it's like I said, at this point, I don't even know why I could even possibly want to even talk about AEW, but I still will when it comes to big things. But I'm not going out of my way. I could care less about missing anything about related to AEW, because like I said, I haven't talked about them in 2 months, and rightfully so. I'm glad I saw this. AEW is a poor piss ant company, and they only care if you get below your knees and they suck their cocks. Because that's what Tony does for the wrestlers that make him the most money, get him the viewership they needed to be at, and they exist only to rival, also because they want to rival WWE. They do not care about y'all. They don't care about you AEW fat geeks that's out there defending their name. They don't care. They don't. Tony cares about how much coke he can snort and how much pockets he can fill. That's it. Same goal, same reasons, same as Vince. It's the same scum. And I've been kept by my word for months now, and I turned out to be right. Like, it's just like, if you don't believe this after the other comment where he's like numerous times have just exposed himself of not wanting to take criticism. AEW is trash. It's a failing company. After 3 years, already failing. Like I said, I can't wait till the day they fall under. You're willing to go after people and mess with people's livelihoods, take off because they have a voice about what they don't like. That's just complete disgust to me. Like I said, if you agree with it, I'll just laugh at you, kick you while you down. Because make no mistake about it, AEW is crumbling. And that day, I'm a savor the taste when that day comes. Just like when Vince McMahon gets his due. Oh yeah, WWE too. Enjoy the rest of your day. Well, whatever this release is, but, you know, just saying. Stay blessed, y'all. I'm out.